It's important to make healthy choices for your physical and mental health. It is really important, so you have to remember that. And you should know that health is not only the absence of any disease or sickness, but it is when all persons are able to develop their full potentials and function so well in the societies, irrespective of any challenges that they may face. We welcome all of you, our lovely viewers, to the Health Buzz on the Big Hands TV. Today we'll be looking at health and wellness. And we'll be adding a little bit of how and the reasons for people to fall sick. We are very privileged to be coming your way with today's edition. But before we go into the discussion, we would like to give thanks to our sponsors, the Big Hands Foundation, for making it possible for us to come your way, and also the Big Hands Travel and Tour. In today's discussion, we'll be talking about health and wellness. And our resource personnel is ready. We are very glad to have her once again. So please do stay with us as we go for a quick commercial. We'll be right back. Welcome back, lovely viewers. So like I said, our resource personnel is ready, and she is a nurse. She works at 37 Military Hospital. She's at the Gynae Emergency Unit, and she's in the person of Mrs. Janet and Sandan. So we are very glad to have her in our studios today. Welcome, Mommy.
Thank you, Monica.
I hope you are doing so well.
By the grace of God,
Alright, it's good to have you again.
it's good to have you too.
Yeah, it's good to see you. So today we are going to be talking about health, wellness, and sicknesses or diseases. But before we even go to today's main discussions, I don't know the situation at T7 now with the vaccinations. How has it been since Monday, if you have taken notice of anything?
I think it's cool. Everything is in order. And we are yet to start, but I think it is not going to be compulsory.
Okay.
It's going to be optional as time goes on.
Okay. But in your own words, what will you tell our viewers and Ghanaians to do about the vaccination?
I think it is a good thing to vaccinate. I just compare it to the normal vaccination that we have been giving to our children at the child welfare clinic. Just that this very one, it is a new one that we are just introducing. So it will have that unknown thing about it, but it is far better. The advantages outweighs the disadvantages. So people should feel okay and then go and vaccinate.
Alright, so viewers, we all have to do well and get vaccinated so that COVID will go down and we will all win. On that note, we would like to ask Madam Janet to tell us about health, what health is, and if there are any aspects of health.
Right, thank you. When we say health, according to World Health Organization, when someone is healthy, then we say that the person has a complete physical, mental, and social well-being, or being in a state of being physical, social, and then mental well-being, and not just absence of a disease or an infirmity. So what that means is that you may not suffer a physical illness like we all know, that when someone has diabetes or hypertension or an injury that you could easily see or will affect the person's daily living or activity. But mentally, maybe the person might be going through stress, or there could be conflicts happening in the person's home, or maybe the workplace situation there is not that conducive to enhance the person's well-being. Right. Sometimes even when you are financially constrained, you see that you don't feel okay with yourself. So even financially, if you are stable, then it also comes to play when it comes to health. So health is an embodiment of so many things, including the physical health, the mental, the social, financial, and the whole lot.
Okay. Well, are there any aspects of it? If there are, I would like you to really spell them out.
Yes, so like I said, physical, ohunama, and I said the pediana. Say you say be a when you now yare no ma wo nsunsuansuo bi is giving you some kind of sign and then symptoms. Yes, so those are the physical aspects. And then if you talk about the mental aspects, one dream, so what sound mind, you are able to reason, you are able to make meaning to things.
Yeah.
When was surrounding, you are not so confused about things, you are not disoriented, right? You are very stable in performing your normal activities. And then when it comes to the social health, you are able to interact with your people, your colleagues, your family, right? Everything is going on well. Marital issues here and there, they are all part of the social health, right?
Okay.
And even environmental health, so we have so many aspects of the health, yes.
Okay. Can health be promoted? Can it be promoted?
Yes, of course. Health can be promoted.
All right.
Yes.
So what are some of the measures?
Yes, when it comes to the measures, we have measures that are under the individual's control,
Okay.
and then others that is beyond your control. So those that are under the individual's control, we have diets and nutrition,
Okay.
where you are supposed to eat nutritious diet or adequate diet, because it is known that our diet or the kind of food we eat contributes about 95 to 97% of our ill health.
Wow.
So if the person is able to eat what is required, then your tendency of becoming ill will be less, and so you can live in good health.
Okay.
Right? Then we can talk of exercising.
Okay.
If you exercise, the tissues are able to revitalize so that the dead ones are replaced. So that makes you more efficient to be able to go about your normal duties well. It has been recorded that lack of exercises may also cause certain cancers in
Okay.
our body. So
Wow.
if you exercise well, it means that the probability of you having some of the cancers may be prevented, right? We can also talk of rest and sleep. If you rest well and you sleep well, you get rejuvenated, right? Well nourished, so that you can also perform your normal activities well. When we talk about the health, it also embodies the fact that you become very productive, you are able to work well without stress or without fatigue. And so if you don't rest well, it means that you will become fatigued the next day.
Yeah.
Right? You are unable to do your daily activities well and become more productive. So the rest and then the sleep will enhance you to do your activities very well.
Okay.
Yes. And then apart from that, you can talk of adequate hydration, drinking enough water. Right? When you drink water, it helps with the chemical processes in our system to function very well. Right? So adequate hydration is very good. Then we can also talk of avoiding other habits, right? Like avoiding excessive alcohol intake, and then avoiding intake of cigar or smoking, right? If you take a lot of alcohol, it has a lot of effects on our bodies. Likewise, the smoking. And then certain lifestyles like emptying your bowels every day. If you tend to empty your bowels, let's say every 3 days or every week, you are likely to have constipation, which can also lead to hemorrhoids and other conditions. So some of these lifestyles helps us to maintain our good health. And then if you consider the ones that are not under your control, then you can talk of genetic factors. If certain conditions are passed on from the mother or your father, to you, then you don't have control over it. So you are likely to experience or become sick almost every now and then. A typical example is sickle cell. Or share in crowd what sickle cell are. I am on my pomodeno in Sisi. Maybe I don't say I wear our bar, not around the joints, and the other. And then sometimes to the environment we find ourselves. If the environmental condition is such that it predisposes you to a certain condition, for example, if the environment is an endemic place for malaria, you see, so you are likely to have malaria. But over baby, any malaria prone zone, you cannot get malaria, right? So the environment can also play a part. We can also talk of sanitation. Food sanitation. If the sanitation is bad, then we are likely to have infectious diseases around. So you can easily contact or you can easily have an infectious diseases. On the broader scale, we can look at food and drug safety. Okay, the society or the country looking at how safe the food we are taking is in such a way that when you take it, it doesn't give you any food poison or any kind of condition. Right, so.
Okay. In your explanations, you mentioned hemorrhoids. I would like you to just tell us what it is, because there may be someone out there, or there are some people out there who may not know what it is, the hemorrhoids.
So the common name is the piles.
Oh, okay.
Piles, yeah, bleeding piles.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So.
Okay. All right. Then I would like to ask if personal hygiene is the same as health. Personal hygiene, is it the same as health?
Yes, personal hygiene is an aspect of health.
Okay.
Yes. So when I was talking about environmental hygiene, occupational hygiene. So personal hygiene is an aspect of health where the individual's body comes to play. So in this case, it is more personal.
Okay.
Right, like bathing. We know when you bath, your body gets cleansed. If there is any bacteria or if there is any organism on your body, it gets washed away. You get refreshed. There is more aeration, which will enhance circulation. Right. So personal hygiene involves the personal things that you do. Bathing, making sure that you have groomed yourself well so that you look presentable, taking care of your hair, right, making sure that the hair is free of any organism or any dirt. So the normal washing that we do, or maybe the way you cut your hair to your desired styles, right? Then your nails. The nail is also a medium where an organism can localize, looking at your personal hygiene. Right. Yes.
Okay. So it is an aspect of.
It's an
health.
aspect of health.
All right. Do you think it's important that people make efforts to own their own health?
Yes, it is. It's important. Yes, because your health is your life. If you are not healthy, it means your chances of living is less, right? And so you have to make a conscious effort to own your health, making sure that you do the right thing or you do what is right. If you leave your health for someone to be in charge, it means that the person may not understand or may not know what you are going through. For example, if you are going through pain right now, I wouldn't know the extent of pain you are going through, right? You know how painful it is. Or maybe you go for an occasion and they've given you food that you are allergic to, or maybe pepper, and you know you have peptic ulcer. And then you go and take this pepper. You know that when you take pepper or irritating food, it is not good for your health. So I do not have to force that food on you. You need to decide that this food is not good for me, and so I cannot take it. So you have to own your health. When you own your health, you feel good. You feel fine. You feel okay. It boosts your morale, right? It also makes you happy because you want to do the right thing at the right time or all the time.
Okay. You certainly have to own your health. And the discussion is getting very interesting in here. We'll go for a quick commercial. We'll be right back. This is the Health Buzz on the Big Hands TV. Viewers, so we are continuing our discussions on health, wellness, and sicknesses. So before we went for the commercial, we were saying that it is important we all take responsibility for our own health. Now, we would like to talk about wellness. What is wellness? What will you say about it?
Okay, so when we talk about wellness, it's about what we do day in, day out to make sure that we are healthy or we are well. Let me put it that way. And then my and my it's nasty. Oh,
Okay.
so like I said, some of the aspects of health, right? Good diets, eating well, making sure that you eat the required one, not just eating for filling your belly, but eating the nutritious foods, right? Making sure that you exercise well, and then having enough rest and sleep, hydrating well, relating with your colleagues well, right? Making sure that you have a healthy environment, a healthy atmosphere, right? To live with, to work with. Sometimes even occupational health comes to play, where you are able to work to your satisfaction. Right? Having enough money in your pocket is also part of
Really
it.
good.
Yes. When your pocket is full, you feel happy. That's all about wellness.
Okay. Does it have any aspects?
Yes, sure, it does. It does. So, looking at the aspect of health, we can talk about wellness of the body,
Okay.
wellness of the mind, okay, wellness of your spirit, even your emotions. Okay, so the wellness of your body embodies your physical health, right? Not having any kind of diseases or conditions that you may be battling with. And then the wellness of your mind, making sure that your mind is working well, you are able to reason with people, you are able to understand what is going on. If you are a student, you are able to learn well, you use your intellect very well. You are able to associate with each other when it comes to wellness, interact with other people or interact with your colleagues, right? When it comes to spiritual wellness, you are able to believe in a supreme being, like you find meaning to the reason why you are living, you are able to understand nature, or you appreciate the supreme being, the supreme person. So these are some of the aspects of wellness that we can talk about.
Is there any relationship between health and wellness?
Yes, there is. Sometimes we interchange them.
Okay.
Yes, but there is a little difference. Looking at how we have discussed so far, when we talk about the health, it is a state at that very moment.
Okay.
How you are feeling within you, okay, holistically, your spiritual, your physical, mental, how you are feeling within you at that very moment. And then the wellness is the steps that you will take to make sure that you become well.
Okay.
Alright, so all the activities that you do, avoiding excessive alcohol, excessive smoking, eating well, sleeping well, exercising well, those activities that you do to make sure that you live in good health is the wellness. So it has a relationship.
So then wellness is deliberate?
Yes, it is. It is deliberate because it is an action that you do.
Okay.
So it's a conscious thing that people will have to do.
Okay. I'll call out some models and then I would like you to explain to us their impact on wellness. The first one is self-responsibility for wellness. What do you think is its impact on wellness?
So when I talk about the self-responsibilities, it's just like taking responsible of your health. All right. So meaning that you would have to take that conscious effort to make sure that you are involved in your health, or you are involved in the activities that you are supposed to do to make sure that you are well or you are healthy. Okay. So you make an effort or you make a move to make sure that what you are doing or the activities that you are engaged in, it is leading to health or it is leading to wellness. Every day, every hour, every day we are involved in a lot of activities, but then the things that you make sure that it is good for your health is what you would have to choose from.
Okay. And what about nutritional awareness? Its impact on wellness.
So the nutritional awareness, for example, the health education or what we are even having now, it opens up our minds to what we are supposed to eat and then what we are supposed to drink to make sure that we have the required nutrients to nourish our body. So the food that we are taking, we have the chemicals in it, which we call nutrients, that when we take them, it goes to do certain activities in our bodies. One of it is that it replaces worn out tissues and help us to grow. Into old tissues now, and then some helps us to give us energy, like carbohydrate foods. So you take them, you have the strength to go about your daily activities, right? We have others that protects our body. So the vitamins, the minerals, they protect our body from infection. So why am I to be building an immunity? I mean, to be building antibodies. So that when we are faced with infections and other antigens, it's able to help us to protect our bodies well.
Okay, stress reduction and management, its impact on wellness.
Yeah. So stress reduction and management and its impact on our health. So it boils down to your wellness of the mind, to make sure that you are able to psych yourself in such a way that you reduce stress, and it is a conscious effort that you make. Everybody goes through stress, right? Whatever that you do, maybe it has some kind of stress that is attached to it. But what is important is that you are able to control it, or you are able to overcome it. If you are able to overcome it, then it helps with your wellness. If you are unable, then it causes some kind of danger to your wellness. So if you are able to manage stress, it releases the tensions and then certain bad chemicals that are released into your system. When those bad chemicals are released into your system, it has adverse effects on the body tissues as well, right?
What do you say? What are some of the ways you think we can reduce and manage our stress?
Yes. First of all, you would have to know your strength, or you have to know the kind or the extent with which you can contain those stresses, right? And then you take an action. And it is just personal one. You just take a deep breath, alright? Sometimes you just need to relax yourself, alright? Tell yourself that you can do it. If it is an interview or something, you tell yourself within that I can do it, or I'm able to do it, alright? If it's something with your colleague or with your friend, maybe you can take a break, or you can take a short leave, and then you go out or socialize yourself before you come back, right? We have certain foods that also causes stress.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so
can you mention some for us?
So if you know that if I take this kind of food, I'm so stressed out, then you would have to
Wow.
avoid them. Yes.
Wow. Okay, what about physical fitness or physical activity? What's its impact on wellness?
Yes, so physical activities like exercising, both passive and active exercises, yes.
We
Like,
have passive and
yes,
active. Wow.
yes. So
Can
the
you-
passive one is just like when you are sitting and then you are making slight movements of your leg or maybe your hands, alright, stretching yourself up or standing up to stretch yourself, that kind of activities. And then the active ones are the rigorous ones
Okay.
that we actually do. Okay,
Okay.
sometimes the normal activities that we do in the house are also passive exercises like sweeping, dancing, and jumping and all that. But we have
Okay.
others that are actually involving.
Like
That's
weightlifting.
yes, that you can sweat, alright, yes. So when you involve in those activities, you realize that you sweat a lot. Okay, when you sweat, it means that you are utilizing your stored fats or maybe your stored glucose. Okay, if those stored fats are utilized, it means that the tendency of you becoming obese or becoming overweight is less. Alright, so you fall within the normal BMI range. Okay, and like I said earlier, it is able to take away the old tissues and then replace it with the new tissues so that those new tissues become so refreshed. So when you exercise, it's able to do that and increase circulation. When the circulation is increased, it sends more blood to the heart, which also makes you work faster and become very active and alert.
Yeah, you just mentioned BMI. What's it and its impact or its bearing on health?
So when we say the BMI is a standard measurement that we use to estimate the body fat, okay, right, to see if someone is within the normal range. So we have the less one, the normal one, and then the above one. If you are below 18.5, it means that your BMI is less, right? Which is also not good enough. In as much as we are talking about the normal one, the low BMI is also not good because the fats and then the body tissues support us to live. Okay, we have the fatty tissues supporting our nervous system and other subcutaneous areas. So it is also important that you find yourself within the normal range. Then the normal is between 18.5 to 24.9. So any value beyond 24.9, which is 25, 26, 27, it means you are overweight, right? And then beyond 27 to 30, thereabout, it means you are obese. We are concerned with the obese because if you are obese, it is highly related to other conditions, physical conditions,
Okay.
right? Or it has been reported that people who are obese are likely to suffer from chronic conditions like hypertension, diabetes, and other heart-related diseases. This is because these fat depositions will find themselves in the blood vessels. So when they find themselves in the blood vessels, they cause something we call atherosclerosis.
Wow.
And then this atherosclerosis will prevent blood to pump well as it should.
Okay.
So the heart will have to pump against pressure,
Okay.
and then the individual will begin to develop hypertension.
Wow.
And then hypertension will eventually cause so many conditions because it has to do with the blood vessels. So we know that all our system, we have blood vessels everywhere. Alright, so areas that blood vessels are work is seen more is around the kidney. So someone with hypertension may eventually have problem with kidney. We eventually have a problem with the eye. Right? Sometimes if the pressure is too much, you see that it can rupture the blood vessels, particularly if it happens in the brain. Then you may suffer from hemorrhagic shock. Sorry, hemorrhagic stroke. Right?
Okay.
Which is one of the stroke that
I thought stroke was stroke, but we have types.
Yes, we have types
Okay.
of stroke.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Then BMI has a very great impact on health.
yes.
But is it possible someone may be able to estimate his or her own BMI?
Yes, it's possible if you know how to calculate it. It's very easy. So
Okay.
yes, it's just
Can you teach us that?
yes. So you measure or you take your weight in kilograms
Okay.
and then divide it by your height squared. So your height squared, it should be in meters squared.
Okay.
Yes.
So viewers, your weight in kilograms, then you divide by your height in meters squared. Okay. Our discussions are getting very, very interesting. The health bars on the Big Hands TV. We are in our studios with Mrs. Janet Ansandanso, who is a senior nursing officer at the Ops and Gynae Emergency Unit, 37 Military Hospital. I am your host, Michael, and we'll go for a quick commercial. Welcome back, viewers, and this is the Health Bars on the Big Hands TV. We are discussing health, wellness, and sicknesses or diseases. So before we went for the commercial, we were saying that you have to know how to estimate your BMI because it has a lot of importance on our health. So we are going to continue with our discussions. And Mommy, what do you think are some of the poor indicators of health? Or indicators of poor health? Indicators of poor health, yeah.
Okay, so if you want to know that maybe someone's health is at stake, or there's a problem with someone's health, or someone is likely to suffer from certain conditions, there are certain things that we look at. The first one, like I explained earlier, is the BMI.
Okay.
If the BMI is at the extremes, then it indicates that something could happen, or the person may suffer certain conditions. So if the BMI is beyond 24.9, right, which is within the overweight range, and then exceeding 27, which is getting to the obese range, then what that means is that the person is likely to suffer from cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, kidney problems, and then hypertension and other chronic diseases.
Okay.
Yes. And then you can also talk of elevated high blood pressure.
Okay.
Usually we don't check our pressure often. So maybe by chance you get your blood pressure checked and it is high, then it is indicating that you might be having either hypertension or other related conditions. Then you can also look at your elevated high blood sugar, which is an indicative of a person likely to suffer from diabetes.
Okay.
Diabetes also has got its own complications and other related diseases. So if the blood sugar is high, it indicates that the person might have a poor ill health. And then going beyond that, if the lipid level or the cholesterol level is checked and it is high, then it can also indicate that someone is possibly suffering from an existing condition that are related to the cardiovascular system, right? Or maybe the central nervous system disease. And then if someone is excessively drinking a lot of alcohol, then sometimes they take the alcohol and they are unable to take the required food or diet. So you see that it puts their health at at risk, right? Or excessive smoking, because it interacts with the way your lungs is able to take in good air. So you are likely to suffer from respiratory diseases, alright? More ones are the pneumonia that we all know. Yes, and so these are the indicators on the personal basis. But if you look at the community base or the society base, then you can be talking of the crude death rate. If the death rate is high, then it means that the individual or the citizen's conditions or health is at stake. Because their ill health, there is a problem with their health.
What name did you give to that?
Crude death rate.
Crude death rate, okay.
Yes. So we are looking at the number of people who are dying in a year. That is compared with about 1,000 people living.
Okay.
Yes. Apart from that, we can look at maternal death.
Maternal death.
Yes.
Okay.
The number of women who die during pregnancy or maybe after delivery or even after abortion, right? And the cause is related to the pregnancy or it was related to the labor or even after labor, okay, and other associated conditions that are related to pregnancy. So if the death is also high, then it indicates that the people living in the country or within the society, their health is at stake. Then we also look at infant mortality.
Okay.
The children under 1 year that are dying before their first birthday, okay, it's also another indicator that
Poor health.
poor health of a society or a country.
Okay. And when you were talking of the indicators of poor health, you mentioned cardiovascular system. What system is that?
Okay, so when we talk about the cardiovascular system, it's just the cardio and then vascular. When we say cardio, it's related to the heart, and then vascular is related to blood vessels. So usually when the heart pumps blood, then it flows through the blood vessels. So usually when we are categorizing conditions, we link them together. It works together. The heart will pump the blood into a big artery called aorta, and then it will begin to distribute it through the other blood vessels. So usually conditions that are affecting the heart may also affect the blood vessels. So that's why we link them together, cardiovascular system.
Okay. What's a disease or a sickness? Is it the same? Someone will say, I have a disease. Someone will say, I am sick. Another person will say, I am ill.
They are all the same. Sickness, disease, illness, they are all the same. So what it simply means is that the body is not functioning well, or a part of your system is not working as expected. So if the person is able to sense that I have pain or I have a discomfort at one side of my body, maybe my arm or my leg, or maybe there's a swelling or discharging or something, then it means that the person is sick. So sometimes it could be obvious that it's manifest by signs and symptoms, right? Sometimes you may not see it, like the cancers, until it gets to certain stages. So diseases present or it exhibits with the signs and the symptoms, like you have headache, you are having dizziness, drowsiness, you want to vomit, you have fever and all that, right? Those are the signs and symptoms that are associated with illness or diseases. But others, it may not show up until it gets to the later stages.
Okay. Why would someone have a symptom or even a sign of headache, but another person you said the sign or the symptom would not show? What would cause that?
It depends on the kind of condition or the disease that individual is suffering from. You realize that when you are suffering from a condition, it affects a certain or a part of your system. So the whole of our body is into systems. When we say systems, I say like I said, the cardiovascular system, the nervous system, the digestive system. So we have these systems in place. And omo function as omuju media or mudi. And to say a kobase bia obi enya yare bia a what nervous system more. A kind of sign and a symptom will be shown. And I will be konya yare bia a what digestive system and also what signs and symptoms will be shown. It's a bit to be about say many condition a nervous system condition. Nervous system condition. And I say yeah near a boy me atenka. Okay. Send information it will be evidence akawa. Or better so be the sakame. Nina ko brain, not brain at the first spinal cord. Now feel the information number the very part now in the promo evidence akane. And I say it hey ni who also woman. Because some you know a sensitive, a co-brain you now call upper interpreter and I watch that and you say Michael and it's a me. And you know, so being a condition be a faster idea one. The presentation a very different action would be away area a fact be would different. It's you know, if you have a condition, no, many headache. Also, dear no. Ubega nausea and vomiting, fit and as a from. It's a different, depending on maybe a system now, diarrhea no, attack. But sometimes when you could see, say, be a sign view, nervous system, cardiovascular system, sign view, cardiovascular system, digestive system. But I am the normal ones are, and we are obviously, you said, maybe related to this very system. For example, so when your condition very related to digestive system, maybe I would differ. It's not so with the different. What you may feel, or fear, if you are not already know, and on our effect, and I'm was already the so I be a insuring among my be, and I'll be fear, and to move from, wait to me a fee. And I say, be a Wofubay chapel because when the name, if you are not entering on digestive, it's not why you bloated, when you're indigestion. And also when you're flatulence, both of us and gas are feeling of fuma. I said, oh, and said, Daniel will find this and what do you want in here? And I said, be over your constipation, I said, diarrhea. Or constipation, I said, you're not in the if you're not a call system, the catching now, I say, a ban. It's me, man, I didn't. So you don't feel okay. Once I said, we young a young and to be near it. And also when you diarrhea, where you are passing a lot of loose stools, or passing a lot of loose stools all the time. Those are lose body fluids, a baby dehydrated, and as what we call electrolyte imbalances. It's in the affected system, no? Then gradually those are not affecting the whole of your body, and I said the whole of your organs.
Okay. The Health Buzz on Big Hands TV. We are still talking about health, wellness, and sicknesses. Do all and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Big Hands T, Instagram, Big Hands TV, and on YouTube, Big Hands TV. We are continuing, we are still in our discussions. Are there any types or categories of diseases?
Yes, we have so many types, categories of diseases. So
some of them.
So many of them. So categorizing them according to the systems that I was talking about. Then you can talk of cardiovascular diseases, nervous system diseases, digestive diseases, skeletal diseases, endocrine diseases. Right. So we have categories of them based on the system by system. We have diseases related to genes, so genetic and chromosomal disorders. We have nutritional deficiencies as nutritional disorders. So we have a lot of conditions.
Okay. What causes some of these diseases?
Well, diseases, we term them as communicable and non-communicable. When we say communicable, it means that it is infectious. And then when we say non-communicable, it means it is non-infectious. It is a case infectious disease. Not just a area no, a muawa and a deba.
Okay.
And you know, me a transfer amount. Also, bet me a transfer movie. Near economy, to say coronavirus, yeah. Ababa betu ye. Eye abwa and a deba. It's a one ever me more. Once a mimic to me, the amount. Now so they are movie. Now so they are movie. Near economy, we may be a crowd and not deeper me breed. So infectious diseases are caused by organisms, bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, right? And I what non-communicable diseases. Diseases are and transfer from one person to the other. Okay. So we have hypertension, diabetes, we have kidney diseases.
Okay.
Yes, we have stroke. We have other genetic diseases, right? Sickle cell and the rest. It's a non-idea. Ultimate farmer would be at right? Ultimate farmer would be, and I said, would be 80 million. The same you know what today mean to me, and farmer, say, yeah, no peptic ulcer, and I said, no asthma, intermediate, and I said, lung cancer, you know, me know today, and you want to lung cancer, then it's not possible. So these are the two main causes. Apart from that, I think that I mentioned the nutritional disorders, which is also one of the causes of diseases.
And then we will to me, so we'll think as well area that will be an area. Then we'll to me.
So almost away area. Usually say area no any area a life threatening, and I say a move be able to be in a pile. Sana dear, any home remedies, and I suggest first aid or better. If you are 1 mile far, no, I okay, no, I fine. So we have drugs that we buy over the counter, or the non-prescription drugs that you can easily go and then you get it and then you take it and you feel okay. And I say, yeah, who say a brain or a bra, then you go and sleep. You have enough of it. Sometimes you just have to eat and then you rest, and then by the time you wake up you feel okay. Alright, sometimes it's just maybe talking to someone, right, about certain issues, and then you just feel relieved. But if it is a life-threatening condition, and I say condition here, one can say it is having a devastating effect on my health, then you would have to seek help. Talk to your doctor, you talk to any health personnel, or you visit your health center.
Okay. So viewers, when you are feeling sick or when you fall sick, you have to seek for medical care. And it is important we take responsibility of our own health. We are wrapping up today's edition, and I don't know if you have any final words for our viewers.
Yes.
So you pay particular attention to the camera.
Yeah, so what I want to say is that we will have to take responsibility of our health. In doing that, you see, so many people default in taking care of their health. Sometimes it may be financial issues, sometimes it may be for the fact that the person is not having support, or it may even be attitude of health workers. Alright, so health workers, we have to make sure that we relate well with our patients so that they also feel free in continuing with their health. So ensure that you are responsible for your health. Make sure that you are eating well, you are having the adequate number of hours of sleep, you are drinking enough and good water, you are making sure that you live with your colleagues well, create an atmosphere that is healthy so that you can live well, and then you can live in good health.
Okay. This has been another interesting episode of the Health Buzz on the Big Hands TV. We believe you have learned so much. So soon we have come to the end of the program and want to give thanks to our sponsors, the Big Hands Foundation and the Big Hands Travel and Tour. Please do well to follow us, subscribe to our channels on all social media platforms, share the videos with other people. We'll be coming your way on Saturday, God willing, with another interesting topic for discussion on the health bars on the Big Hands TV. We were joined in our studios by Mrs. Janet Ansadanso, who is an SNO at the Gynae Emergency Unit, 37 Military Hospital, Ghana. I have been your regular host, Michael Oseja. Thank you for watching.